Hello there and welcome. Thanks for popping into my channel. I'm Kate in the Nest, and I know everyone's really busy. I know that it's hard to keep up with everything that's going on at the moment, but gee, I'm home alone and I thought, what good reason have you, Kate, not to film? And I haven't got a good reason, so here I am. This is my piece that I began in October with the idea that it would be a Thanksgiving banner. So for those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving in the Northern Hemisphere, happy Thanksgiving, because I think it actually is today, Thursday, the 26th, 27th of November. I can tell I didn't even check that one out before I came on. But I was thinking of my unfinished projects, of which I have a lot, and this is one of them, and it is such a cheery piece that I thought I would just pop on, because I know some of you are getting snow and it's getting cold. And if you are like us and it's getting hotter, this sort of reflects the summer coming up, doesn't it, these colours? So not for everyone, it's very orange, but I did make it with our October Kin product in mind. So I feel like I'd like to add now a little bit more, what's this? What is that, Kate? Dimension upwards. So, I haven't planned this. I like to have flat bits and then puffy bits, and then thank you, Terry, for this beautiful crocheted flower. I've got the daffodils here, but I just would like to start, and I'm thinking I don't want to cover in everything, but I want this piece of fabric to go onto my piece. So how can I do that? I've got, actually maybe she needs to come down here. And sort of squeeze in there. So I will cut this bit off here. So this is collage, of course, and we all do it differently, but it's always fun. So how's your day been, or what have you got in front of you today? Might be a better question. Or you might be watching this. Oh, maybe I could. Yes, because remember I didn't quite like that inside, and I painted over and it went gluggy. So what if we put this like that? I've got a knot in it. I haven't pinned it. But that will join up with there. So it's like filling in the gaps. And I don't mind that there's some green here, and I might pick up this pink up there as well. Yes. Okay, so we're straight into it. Oh, so what shall we talk about? I've asked you about your plans. I've had quite a crazy day, a very exciting day. And yeah, this is the quietest moment I've had out of choice. And I need to do some stitching just to calm myself down, because I've had communications left, right and centre. My day started off incredibly well as I left the house to do some errands. I met the man who was literally delivering 2 boxes of treasures from India. And I was so tempted to miss my appointment and just stay in the house and open them. But I was very self-disciplined. I signed for them, got them inside the house, gave them a loving look, and left them for quite a few hours. So it's actually been such a treat. I've been home a week today. In fact, just now, nearly 20, yeah, we're just over the 24-hour mark. What do I mean like that? That's silly. It's a week. That's how my brain is scattered at the moment. So how nice it was to think I've been home for a week and look at all these things arriving a week later. So incredibly efficient mail, I have to say. Shipping. And I unpacked one box, and this is vintage Canter quilting, which I will have to soak and wash and dry. I did develop a new skill. If I have saris, vintage saris flapping outside my window as I film this. So that was my new skill, how to, it's okay to soak them and wash them, but then how do you keep them on your line when there's 5 meters of them and there's many? But anyway, they're clean, and because they came in an earlier box, and now it's onto, this is a really beautiful, everything is beautiful, set of vintage and very old canthus with the tiniest stitching. So I'm starting the process of cleaning them up. One's in the bath already, and I actually twisted Zoe's arm to come and see them as she drove by to start work this afternoon. I said, you just have to see and share this with me. My husband shared it with me as well, and he was just so, I'm so fortunate. And as well as that, I thought and I couldn't show you guys because it's up in a different room, and you know me, I can't hold, and you wouldn't have seen the scale because they're very large. Anyway, that's been an absolute thrill. And the whole time I've been thinking of how grateful I am. Immense gratitude. Changes your life. It's changed my life, I think. You know, I've told you many times that I had a bit of a life quake, and I started journaling and paper journaling and then slow stitching to help me through it, and it has made me well again. So and one of the biggest things I have learned is to start each day thankful. One of the wise Indian gentlemen shared with us that even before he opens his eyes, that's the very first thing he does. So I brought that home with me as well. So I know many of you have seen my treasures, and I have a lot of them, but they are for sharing. Because I haven't got enough room for them. But then I wanted to share the beauty. Oh my gosh. Bill, my husband, said, Kate, he looked at one of the quilts and he said, that matches exactly what you're wearing. And I looked at him, he said, you could just put that quilt round you and that would look like your clothes and what you have always loved wearing. And I thought that was so astute. Like, I thought, and he said, I said, these are hundreds of years. I don't know if they're hundreds, but, you know, they're very old. They wouldn't be hundreds, but they're very old. And he said, well, isn't it wild that it's been happening in other places? And anyway, do you know what I'm trying to say? It was just thrilled and just such a beautiful thing that he noticed and loved everything that I bought. And didn't ask how much it cost. We all know that feeling, don't we? one of you, I know, at least one, is going to India in February. I'm sorry, I read about it earlier this morning and I should have noted down. But we'll go with you as well. We'll be thrilled. And well, I said that was a once in a lifetime. It was a once in a lifetime introduction to that country. But I have no doubt in my soul that I will return. Okay, enough about me. So this is the matching. Well, this is the offcut. So there's a lesson for me in collage and never wasting a scrap. So now I'm going to put some of this up there, and I don't care that it's what's the word, creased, because I'm going to crunkle and ruffle it up. So it's a 3D center. Okay, so I haven't even checked, but I think you can see, and I don't need that one anymore. Oh, I better introduce you. This arrived. This is a treasure. It's a swan, an Indian swan. Because Kiki gets all the swans, and I've always wanted one. And how ironic that the only one I found in most of my searching, or, you know, I've been gifted swans, is a wooden one from Jaipur, India. And it opens up. And my husband said, what will you do with that? And I said, I'm going to keep things in it. And I think it's got a hole in it that I think is a closure. Oh, look at that. I could put my needle in there. What about that? Yesterday I discovered treasures in the tin, and now I've got needles in the swan. I worked on my expressions of interest list this morning while I was out. So if you have expressed interest in a 2026 workshop, you'll get an email from me very soon. And I know it's a busy time, but I said I would contact you first, then more in the newsletter on Monday, and then we'll go open slather. And you can always email me at kateinthenest@gmail.com if you've missed out on anything or want to know more. So a lot of very exciting news about to be released. So what am I doing here? I'm just doing big stitches over the top of the silk, and they'll end up looking like little stamens in the flower. So it gets it down at the same time as adding texture and beauty. Oops, and an extra bit of colour there. I've also got my November Thankful pouch here from my mum's pouch. I picked it up and I thought I could work on that with you, but I just didn't feel like being purple. Does that happen to you? I don't think Zoe likes purple. But I've got to be in the mood. Oh, that's a very efficient let's say that's enough of that getting on there now. So there's sort of petals of this flower, so we actually might go down here now. Just hope for the best. That wasn't the best, so we'll go up and make that look smaller. I think I've started 3 quilts recently and been held up on each one of them, so I'll have to get to that. Stunning this yarn as I stitch, because this is the one I need to make again over the weekend because I run out. But of course I didn't write any instructions down, so it'll be a bit hit and miss and fluky. So can you see what I'm doing? This part of the flower is disappearing, and this color in the pink is spreading, and now we're going to do a bit of ruching, I think, to get 3-dimensional. Yep, and a little bit raggy. I feel like coming down here a bit first. Just realised my ring is matching. Got a knot. I've just been having a bit lately. Now it's gone. Okay, so here's my bigger flower, and here's a bit of a inner flower that's going to get tucked in like this. So I just hold it down with my finger. I need to have a happy home day tomorrow just to sort myself out and to find a system. And now we're going to go up here, because I'm actually changing the flower of this green piece of fabric to pink and orange. I didn't check my storage, I just remembered. Let's just see if I'm still filming. Yep.